Hi, I'm Dennis, artist, and I want to show you this painting which I have here in this gallery. This painting is called Winds of Change. In this painting, we have 4 seasons, but these 4 seasons, they are actually were blown by the wind because it's to show the winds of change. So the winds of change, not only it changes the seasons, but it changes the water's motion. So as you can see, all the spirals, as you can see, they are actually formed like trees. However, the colors on the spirals, they actually have a different approach, because orange is something to do with warmth, while the blues with to do with the cool of the surroundings, and purple is like the changes of the expressions from cool to frozen cold. Now, as for the winds of change, as you can see, they have 4 seasons, right? But then as for the winds of change, they will usually change the weathers and of our lives and our moods and emotions. As you can see, there are bright colors which represents our happiness, our prosperity. And as for the bright colors of red and blue and dark blues, they are the symbols of fertility, while the dark blue is something to do with the stillness of life, which will mark as the new coming. But at first, the dark colors is something to do with sadness, darkness and emptiness in life. But there is always hope in the middle of the light here. So when the winds of changes will changes the seasons every single month, so that we know that our lives will change as well, because the world turns, you see. So we also have fun, we have calmness, but at the same time we have turbulence, which is pictured by the waters here. Because when there's a calm day, but it has some swells on the water, that means there is fine days, but sometimes it has some turbulences hidden in our lives. But then as for the calm waters, as you can see here, is to do with the calmness of life. And then of course, as for the colors, as you can see, there's orange spirals and different color spirals, which actually are the trees. The trees are us. But then when the green is something to do with energy, with life in the summer, because usually we will always like to play in parks and in the hot sun, and we always enjoy the energy outdoors. Then after that, the autumn colors, orange and yellows, which is something to do with fertility, things come to fruit. But sometimes you will also be seeing fade, the fade in our lives, which you wouldn't know what it would be like, which is something to do with uncertainties. And then after that, the dark blues, the swirls, as you can see here, that is our turbulences in our minds and the turbulences in our everyday life, whether it was big or small, you wouldn't know. Because due to circumstances, you should know that sometimes there's some turbulence in our lives, but there's a light of hope that would break through it all. So that is how it goes. Now about this old painting as well, to the audience, actually it was God's inspiration for me to paint this, because it gives me a special message from what had happened during the COVID pandemic as well. So all I can do was to paint and remember what comes in my mind to determine what the pandemic life is all about before it comes to an end and we will resume to our normal lives.